Thanks to Skillshare for supporting today's video. Hello maths fans, Dr. Tom Crawford here at the University of Oxford, and today I'm going to be learning how to code a maths quiz game using Python. This is just one of many courses available on Skillshare, an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who loves learning and wants to explore their creativity and learn new skills. This particular course caught my attention for two main reasons. First, it's about maths, which we all know is my favourite thing. And second, it's about learning to code using Python, something I currently know very little about, but is a skill that I've always wanted to improve. The plan is for me to follow the Skillshare course, recording all of my progress, and hopefully by the end, I'll have my own maths quiz game that you can all have a go at. And of course, if you'd like to try building your own maths quiz game, or any of the thousands of other online classes available, you can join Skillshare with a 1-month free trial by clicking on the link in the video description. Right, here we go. I've registered for the class and I'm just about to watch the first video entitled Intro. So I'm going to assume this will set the scene for what we're going to do during the course. Let's see. Ooh, he's got a good mic. It says it's for Python beginners. Ideal. I like how he's used programming notation to begin the course. It's nice. It's the little things. Section 2, second video. The first one was very short. This is now called Evaluating Equations. So hopefully this is going to show me how to actually type some things into Python maybe and work out some equations. So I've now defined the function, the same function the instructor has, called calculate answer. Now if I press play, it outputs null, which is exactly what the instructor got. Okay, so far, the first bit of code I've typed does nothing, but does exactly what the instructor has got happening on their screen. Okay, so I now feel confident enough to continue with the video. Ooh, okay, so we're adding parameters. So he's gone for 8, 2, and plus. So let's copy the same thing across to mine. 2 and plus. Okay. Left-hand side, right-hand side operator. I can do that. Left-hand side, right-hand side operator. And then we're returning left-hand side plus right-hand side. So let's try that. So instead of pass, so I want to change pass to return. That makes sense. Return left-hand side plus right-hand side. And now if I press play, I'm nervous. 10! Yes! Okay. Okay, so far so good. Ooh, okay. So it's getting complicated already. Okay, so there's several versions of calculate answer, plus, minus, multiply, and divide. So if I also, right, well, let's try that. So if I copy these across, and then we're going with 8 and 2. Okay, so we're going with 8 and 2, 8 and 2, 8 and 2, 8 and 2, and we're going to change these to be a minus, a multiply, and a divide. And I'm assuming we're also going to change the return value, he says. Let's see. So we're adding an if statement, right? So if operator is equal to minus, return left-hand side minus right-hand side. So it's going to be if operator equals that. Okay, so if, and then that was in a bracket. Yes, so if operator equals minus. Okay, equals minus, whoops, double quotation marks, equals minus. Okay, so if I have that, then I'm saying return left hand side minus right hand side. That makes sense to me. Return left hand side minus right hand side. Okay, and then we're going to do this for all of them. Clever, okay. Right, so I think the idea here is, if I've understood correctly, big if, we're creating these if statements to say when there's a particular operator inputted, then output this particular solution. So in other words, if we want to do an addition, output the addition. Okay, so I've already got my if the operator is a minus, return that. So now if I change these ones, and if I say if the operator is a times, let's output left hand side times right hand side. If the operator is a divide, let's output left hand side divided by right hand side. Okay, and then return left-hand side plus right-hand side as the last bit, which means if it's none of those, it will default to plus. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then everything else looks okay. So now if I run this, I should get the same answers. 10, 6, 16, and 4. Let's try. Oh, nope, doesn't like something. What have I done wrong? I have got different amounts of indent. Yes, I do. Okay, so let's try that. Yes! Okay, this is good. So I've got a statement which is now saying, if I've asked it to add the two numbers, it's adding them. It's doing the subtraction second. It's doing the multiplication third. Is that right? 8 times 2, yes, and 8 divided. Okay, perfect. Right, so far so good. Let's carry on. Okay, so I've been set homework. This should be interesting. Okay, I'm used to setting homework with my students, not being set it myself, but I'm committed to this. Okay, so the homework I've been given here is to try an exponent. So I think I'm going to know how to do this, he says. So let's put this as the, so I'm trying to create an exponent, so let's put this at the end. And I think the exponent is 2 raises, I believe. So now I need to say if operator is that, raise them to that power. Okay, so let's copy that line, and then let's say if operator is up, up, I am going to, actually let's just say it was up. I can just do it once, but then I'm going to return not left side plus that, but the left hand side to the power of the right hand side. So, and we put in 8 2, so this should be 64. Doesn't like my double up. Okay, maybe it's just a single up. Let's try that. Now it's 10 has gone up by 2. Okay, so that's not what I wanted. So I need to change that. Is it just without a space? Nope. Can I do up, up, right hand side? No. Is it dot up? Okay, so I don't know how to do an exponent. So can I search? Let's see. As anyone who works in coding will tell you, Googling things is definitely your friend. So it's star star. Okay, so now let's change that. So if I change this to be star star, hopefully. Yes, 64. Okay, so star star is exponent. Good to know. So I've done my homework, worked out the exponent. Now let's move on to lesson 3. So I've just finished lesson 3, which was a very short video, which was actually a tangent. So this was mentioned by the instructor, and it was very nice because it showed you alternative ways of coding the exact same program that we've just created in video 2. It was a little bit over my head, not going to lie. I was talking about lambda functions and all kinds of other things. And the instructor did mention that this was more advanced and compared it, in fact, to college senior level, which I am most definitely not when it comes to coding. But it was really interesting to see those alternative approaches. So I do like that, but I don't think there's really anything too much that I can share from that. It was just kind of, I watched it, I'm aware there are alternative ways to code a particular feature that I'm interested in. So I've done it in one way, the instructor showed 2 others. You know, I kind of knew that existed, it was nice to see them, but now I'm going to continue with the next lesson. So this is now lesson 4, which is called generating questions. Homework wants me to add in the log function as well as my exponent that I've already done. So the exponent I did on the earlier homework, and so I've kept it, but now adding the log. So I think what I'm going to do here is actually edit the calculate answer section. So if I add in log, and the input's going to just be an L. So if the input is an L, then let's have a look. Then I want to say if this return, so if operator is L, it's going to be shorthand for log. Then we're going to return left-hand side log, right-hand side. He says not knowing if that's going to work. It doesn't seem to want to work. So let's see, how do I do a log in Python? Log in Python. Okay, how do we do this? And then do math.log. Haha, right. So I'm getting something. Do I agree that that's correct? That's interesting. So I've done there log of the right-hand side, where the right-hand side is 2. So 2 base 8. So what is 2 in base 8? It is a third. Yes, because 8 to the 1/3 is 2. Nice. I think it works. Ah! Okay, think. I've got the logarithm thing to work. Homework done. Woo! I'll be so excited about completing homework. It's been a while. Okay, right. So I think we're now ready to go on to the 5th and final video called the game loop. So I'm guessing we're going to put these two together. We've got the generate question function. I've got the calculate answer function. I'm going to put them together, create a game. Is what I think is going to happen. Let's see. I like this player-driven design. So we need to output a question. So this is the first thing we're going to do. So, okay, so I've got these things happening. This is all okay. Oh, I've spotted an old error. This isn't good. Float division by 0. Oh, this doesn't sound good. 0 division error. Why was there a 0 division error? Because there was a error here. Because I had that from 0 to 10. What if I had it from 1 to 10? Will that now run? Okay, good. Right, cool. So what we're doing then is we need to say question. It's going to be given by generate question. Nice. Okay. And I've now set it up. Looking back here, I have set this up with 2 inputs, lower bound and upper bound. Okay, so we're going to generate question from 1 to 10. Keep it simple to start with. Sure. Then I need to print. Okay, so then print. And we want to change the format. So 0 to 1. Right, so this is the thing we had above. So printing out these questions. Okay, so that's this. Okay, so I need to kind of just copy this here to properly print my questions. So much print 0 with a little bit of space, and then 2, and then 1. That's 3, and then format is results 0, results 1, results 2. But then, of course, we don't want the answer. So you've got to work it out. So we get rid of answer. Okay, so when I run that, okay, it doesn't like something. What doesn't it like? It doesn't like 3. Of course it doesn't, because we don't want that, because I'm just inputting without the answer. If I run that, fabulous, 1 times 10. And if I run it again, let's make sure we get a different answer. Still 1 times 10. Ooh, this is not good. I'm running again, still 1 times 10. Okay. So it's generating a question to 110. Right. So I'm inputting those as my lower bound and upper bound. We're picking an operator, which is clearly picking star. But is it importing the random numbers? Oof. Because of course it's calling results, which we don't have. It needs to recall question. That's what I was doing wrong. Gotcha. So I was calling an old variable. Very silly. So it needs to call question and question and question. Right. So let's run that. Excellent. 9 times 6. 5 plus 2. Right. Now I'm happy. Okay. Now it's working. Good. Right. So we're generating random questions. Good. So we're creating an entry box for the answer now. So we're going to generate the question. Then we're going to say player answer equals, and then we're going to want to say input. Now we want to input all of this stuff. So we're going to say that one, and then we want the equals. Right, yep, happy with how all that works. And then we're going to have the input for them to put their answer. Okay, great. So let's try that. So if I run that, so 5 log 4, which is like 0.1, gives me an answer. So we're going to have to tell them it's right or wrong. Now, that's definitely wrong, so we need to now figure that out. Okay, so in order to compare answers, what we're doing then, so we're creating an if function, so saying if, okay, so I'm happy with that, I'm happy with that. We're saying now if, so we want to turn this into a string. Okay, so whatever the player has typed, we're going to turn that into a string. So if string correct answer is equal to calculate answer, sorry, no, string correct answer is equal to, I'm assuming our player's input. Yes, so if string correct answer equals the player answer, okay. So if string correct answer equals player answer, then we want to say it's correct. Okay, so print correct with a nice exclamation. And then we want to say else. If it's not correct, then what would we do? We would print wrong. Okay, and what we've done there is a nice little bit of explanation. The correct answer is the output from calculate answer, and we have to turn that into a string first to make sure they're the same. So that was very interesting. So I've noted that. So now if I run this, it doesn't, so I need to just make sure my prints are in brackets. That's very silly of me. And then we should be able to run this, and I should be able to get a question. So let's run the whole thing. 8 divided by 1 is 8. Wrong. That doesn't sound wrong. Damn it. That's not working. Let's try that again. Okay, so 4 times 7 is 28. It says correct. Okay, it doesn't like divides, I think, is what's happening here. 2 divided by 10 then. So 2 divided by 10 is 1/5. So that's 0.2. And it does say that's correct. Interesting. 5 divided by 7. I am not even going to attempt to write that. I'm just going to write 5 divided by 7. It just says it's wrong. Okay, 3 plus 7 is 10. Correct. Okay, it's giving me something. Okay. Right, so something's going wrong with these divisions. I'm going to guess it's something to do with the accuracy or the number of decimal points being kept. So let's see what he says. So we're just going to do the whole thing. And then I want to just tab the whole thing and then add for I in range 1 to 2. So this should now give me 2 questions. We'll run this. 7 times 4 is 28. Correct. 7 times 6 is 42. Correct. Woo! 2 questions. Okay, good. And let's just run it one more time and I'll get one wrong to make sure that works. 8 to the power of 10. I mean, I don't know what that is, so I'll write that it's 1,000. It's not. Okay, wrong. Correct answer. 1073741824. Of course it is. 9 to the power 8. Also have no idea. So let's just write 65, which is also, of course, wrong. Good, and it's giving me the answers. Okay, I like this. Right, nearly there. So we're going to now do a counter for the score. So we introduce a variable called total questions, and we're going to put that equals 1. And then we're going to say for I in the range up to total questions. So you can pick how many questions you want to do. That makes sense. And then we also want to count how many were correct, right? So at the end we want that print. So we're going to add something here for correct numbers of questions. And then right at the end, we just want to print. And I'm guessing we're just going to print a statement that says you got so many correct out of. Okay, so you got so many correct, question mark, correct out of, and that's going to now be out of, and then I want to do plus string total questions. And I think that should give me the right input there. Sure, so let's run that. Okay, oh, it doesn't like this correct variable, so let's just ignore that one for a minute. And let's run this one. 4 minus 1 is 3. You got question mark correct out of 1. Okay, good. So we're going to do correct equals 0 at the beginning. And then correct plus 1 every time we print correct. That's very clever. So correct is going to be plus equals 1. Was it equals plus? Plus equals 1. So correct, plus equals 1. So if we now do 2 questions, and we want to say you got how many correct? So we want to say you got, and then we want to say plus string, and we want to do correct. So we want to output that variable plus text, correct out of, plus that, and close the print. Okay, 5 divided by 2, so that's 2.5. Correct. 5 squared is 25. I got 2 correct out of 2. Okay, excellent. So I just need to add spaces to correct out of that and run again. Okay, 5 minus 6 minus 1. 6 divided by 7. I do not know the decimal expansion of that, so I'm going to get this wrong. 0.876. Wrong. Correct answer 0.857. Wasn't far off. You got 1 correct out of 2. Woo! Okay, brilliant. Okay, so we're getting scores. Exciting. So my final homework task is to be able to change the total number of questions for the user to select. So I think I know how to do this. I think what I'm going to do is use the idea of an input where the player is able to input something. So I think, let me think about this. So I think we should start by printing how many questions do you want to answer. So let's try that. So print how many questions do you want to answer? Okay. So it's going to print that, and then I want to then say total questions equals the input from that. So I want to, let's think about this now. Okay, so we want to do equals input on this. Okay, so I want to say total questions, actually I want to say total questions equals input, and then let's say how many questions do you want to answer as the question, and then the player is going to enter an input. Let's try that. How many questions do you want to answer? 10. Doesn't like it. Good. String object cannot be interpreted as an integer. Right, so I want to change it from a string to something else. Okay, so if it's not a string, what's the alternative then? Right, got it. So if I do this as int total questions, let's try that. 10 questions. Oh, 8 divided by 8 is 1. 3 to the power 6. Oh, 27 times some other big number. I don't know, 456. It's not that. 729, I should have known that. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 8 is 18. 5 plus 3 is 8. 9 times 10 is 90. 1 log 6. So log to the base 6 of 1 is 0. Yes. 2 minus 10 is minus 8. 7 divided by 10 is 0.7. 6 times 8 is 48. No, I got that one wrong. Correct. And then we have an issue, right? Because I need to change total questions to int. Right, gotcha. So if I change that integer total questions again and int total questions. So we're changing that input to be an integer. Okay, and then, so let's run again. And I'm going to do 2 questions. 2 to the power 9, oh God, I don't know, 512. Correct, what a guess. 6 plus 9, 15. 2 out of 2, or 9e to the minus 100% correct. Okay, so correct divided by int total questions. Put the int of total questions. So I had the bracket in the wrong place. That's why that went wrong. Run again. I want to answer 1 question and I want to get it correct. 100% correct. Hey, right, wicked. I'm happy. So ask you how many questions you want to answer. You can then input them, answer those questions, and you're done. Awesome, this is so cool. Okay, right, so let's see what the final video then about summary and feedback is all about. Congratulations on finishing your class. Woo! Okay, I like this. Okay, that was a lot of fun. So I officially have my own maths quiz game that I have just coded. You've seen me do the whole thing. all through the Python mini projects maths quiz game course on Skillshare. So I'm going to figure out how I can put my version of the game online. I will put a link to that in the video description so you can all have a go. And remember, if you want to try this course for yourself, you can join Skillshare using the link in the video description, which will give you access to a 1-month free trial. There are literally thousands of courses on there. I'm going to be doing a couple more over the next few months and sharing the process with you all. So I do encourage you to check that out, get yourself joined, get yourself part of the community, and see what you can discover. Thank you everyone for watching. Please do remember to subscribe if you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all soon. Take care.